y'all, it's Lyncia on Do What You Love series. On today's episode, I have Matthew Breeden, aka Breezy. Thank you.
Thanks for having me today.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to talk to you about everything. So what made you even want to be a reseller of vintage, of everything, basically?
The honest answer is money.
Money. Right.
I was waiting tables, and I was making no money. But I was just like, I had a couple friends that were like going and kind of doing the resale thing a little bit. And I remember I was sitting on my friend's porch, almost like The Rock says. He's like, oh, I had $7 in my pocket. You know, there's very little money in the bank account.
Right.
I'm sitting on the porch with my friend, and her roommate comes home, and she's like, yeah, I found this dress, and I'm gonna take it over here, and I'm gonna sell this for like $200. And I found this ring. Look, this has turquoise in it. I'm gonna take this over here, right? I'm hearing her say that, and I'm like, I have no money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, there's gotta be something here. Like, I don't know, I'm still learning. I asked them if I could tag along one day, and they were like, yeah, sure. And that kind of just started going from there, you know?
But how did you gain that confidence of picking items?
It's the thing I tell like everybody I talk to. I get a question a lot of like, well, where would you say somebody should start? Start with the things that you love. Start with the things that you know, right? Like I'm a dude and I watch sports. I'm a nerd, so I watch pro wrestling. I read comic books. I love music, so I listen to a lot of music. I went to music school, and I again, the nerd part, I played a lot of video games, right? Yeah. So like all those things were things that I had a passion for already and that I loved to be involved with. So
this takes time and patience. How did you make your collection with that mindset?
To me, I'm like, oh, okay, like this, it kind of, everything quiets down for me and I can like really focus. It's like you're looking through, a pile of clothes and you're trying to figure out, okay, what has value here? What exactly am I looking at? What was this person into? And you can usually tell when you're going through different things of like, you're like, okay, well, here's a vein, right? Here's Metallica, here's Megadeth, here's all the heavy metal stuff, right? Like biker. And you're like, okay, cool. Well, that's what this person was obviously into. And then you'll find some other things where you're like, oh, okay, like here's an old school polo,
right?
I'm like, okay, so this is, there's some nicer things here, but that's kind of, it's just, for me, it's just kind of allows me to focus.
Once you finally found your groove, what made you continue?
Honestly, it's just ignorance. A buddy of mine I used to live with, he said, he told me months later, but he said like, yeah, when you quit your job to sell vintage clothes and be a reseller, like I didn't think you were going to be able to pay rent this month.
Wow.
You know, and it was going good for a while. And then I came to a point where I was like, oh, I'm running low, right?
Which happens.
Right. I'm like, I'm running low right now. That turned out to be, at that point, the best month I had ever done on eBay.
Wow.
And it was simply by buckling down and doing the work and listing the things on eBay. That's probably the closest I've come to being like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Right, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, so if you just show up and do the work, just like everybody else has to do.
I get it, yes. It's difficult to continue and like stay on it. Like you have to keep pushing yourself continuously, especially if you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. There's nobody, mom's not coming to wake up, hey, you gotta go.
Right.
You gotta go, get to work. Nobody's coming to wake you up and say, hey, we gotta keep a roof over our heads and put food on the table and pay our bills. So
it's all you.
Yeah. It's the gift and the curse of it, right?
Exactly.
If it's going good, great. It's all me.
Yes.
It feels great. Yes. You feel really great.
Yes.
When you're not doing good though, you're just sitting there sometimes you're just like, it's all me. Like it's not this person, it's not this person, not my roommate, it's not my friend, it's not even my enemies, it's me.
By myself.
I did this, right?
Yes.
So then you're like, okay, how do I fix this? But it's been a fun journey so far.
Yes. What makes you continue to like have that mindset of like positivity?
I was working at Biscuit Love over at the Belcourt Street over in, what is it?
Hillsborough Village.
Yeah, Hillsborough Village. Yeah. And there's a dude that came in, and he was a coworker. He was a pretty artsy guy, and a little bit older than me at the time.
Okay.
Probably now approaching his age.
Yeah.
And he came in and he was like, I'm moving to Brooklyn to be an artist.
Yes.
Right? And I'm like, I mean, I feel bad saying it now, but at the time I was like, it's like, this guy is moving. He's gonna move to Brooklyn to be an artist.
Yes.
And I ended up folding silverware that day for like 4 or 5 hours, which was fine. I chose it. It was fine. It's a great way to just not have to talk to anybody, just kind of be in your own head. But I was like, man, if this guy is moving to Brooklyn, right, and he's doing this, what am I doing here? Right? And I was with some high school buddies of mine that I'm still in contact with. Like, so I was like, you know, we get together every so often. So I was like, okay, I get to go on vacation, put them at 2 weeks, get to go on vacation. And when I get back, I will get my last check.
Okay.
Right? And if I get my last check, that will be enough to start. But yeah, that was kind of the impetus of like, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Like, I'm probably not gonna do this forever. And the other part was too, if I leave on good terms and I give them my 2 weeks notice, I can always come back to waiting tables.
Right.
I can always come back.
Right, it's still gonna be here.
Yeah, it's still gonna be here.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work, all right, what did I lose?
Yeah.
Right? And the whole thought process was, I will probably make just as much money, but I'll also have way more free time.
Yeah.
If I'm going to make the same amount of money, I'd rather work for myself than to work for somebody else.
Exactly.
So
what about, like, were you not scared? Like, that fear, that first step is always the hardest.
Oh yeah, I was definitely scared for sure. I was like, never done this before.
Yeah.
You kind of have an idea, but you don't really know what you're doing.
Right.
I think I was a little less frightened because at that point, before I left that job, that was the first Christmas that I had where I got to go home with presents for everybody.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I was like, I was getting stuff and I was trading in here and trading in there and trading up for this and doing that, selling a few things. And it felt so good. It was a little scary at first, but it was like, okay, like I think based on doing some of this stuff, I think that I could do it. And I think that I could do it at a greater clip if I could devote more time to it, right? And so that was like, well, all right, here we go.
Here we go.
Worst case scenario, I'll go back to serving biscuits.
Right. Right, exactly. So this is my last and final question. Do you love what you do?
Yeah, I do. I do love what I do. I'm still trying to figure out how to tell people exactly what it is that I do.
Right.
But I love it. I love being able to see value where other people cannot or are unwilling to. In my mind, I try to use that as like a metaphor for life, right? Is like, where are these opportunities? Where are these things that, have been discarded or overlooked or undervalued, right? And then what can you do with those opportunities? What can you do with those things, But that's just kind of how I see the whole bigger picture.
Yes. That's how you should look at it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yes. Okay, well, I loved it. Thank you so much for sharing everything.
Hey, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Thanks, y'all.